Good morning, people. So I need to do a Patreon update. I fancied an early morning coffee, and it's my birthday, so we're going to go for a little ramble while I have coffee, and I'll update you on what's coming up on Patreon and do a general year in review type of thing. So we're going to take a ramble in a very odd place. It's called the Secret Garden in Rosslare. So this is the entrance. So this place used to be a dump, literally, and then there was a land reclamation thing. Now it's been, over the last decade or so, it's been turned into community park, and volunteers work on various parts of it, contribute various things. So you got a lot of ecological things in here. Don't know if you can hear them, but the birds love this place. So we've got little feeders, birdhouses and bug houses, very important for the old secret gardens. So Patreon, I did somewhere close to 20 posts last week. Oh, I lost you all completely there to the sky. Sorry. I did somewhere close to 20 posts last month and edited out the Flash novella, The Racer. I'm not doing that again. That was very draining and I got very close to proper burnout. So I'm going to kind of take it slightly easy this month coming. Look at this guy. Just chilling, leave him to it. So this month you're going to get the end of The Little People, start at chapter 5. You're going to get chapter 4 of Salt Lake, which is actually old from last month, in the next week, and the Mort's mini campaign. This month I haven't completely committed yet, but I think I'll do a scenario based on in the Freeport world, just to give you a different angle on it. So I'll give you a closer look at how some of the jobs on the Freeport worked and such, because the racer kind of throws you in right off the deep end. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for the Patreon update bar. Thanking you very much. So let's see, what else have we been doing? So EasterCon is on, virtually. I've been doing panels at that. Got a reading and 2 more panels today. I'm finding that very odd, not being able to see the audience or have an idea how many people are in the audience or how they're reacting. I didn't realise it until I did a panel last night, how kind of dependent I am on my cues to keep the panel going with what the audience are reacting to. I don't know, if you've been at one of my panels, I spend more time looking at the audience than I do at the panelists, even if I'm asking them questions, just because I can get what people are, what they're reacting to, what their interest is, what little comments are like sparking a reaction in them, things like that. Speaking of things that spark a reaction, I'm thinking a little kind of like Screaming Angels type thing. Yes, my phone is buzzing away because it's my birthday, so everybody's saying happy birthday on the Facebooks and stuff. Oh, this is one of the bug hotels. Yeah, if you're going to have a garden, particularly a reclaimed one, you're going to need to encourage a lot of the bug wildlife, which is kind of counterintuitive to a degree. But yes, there's lots of nice things. But yeah, I'm just finding it odd not having a reaction to kind of vibe off, and don't really seem to be willing to type in questions or anything like that, so the interaction just is not there. This is one of my favourite spots to sit. Right, usually I'd sit there with a coffee, but I'm giving you a tour. So I sit there, look about, I'll show you another bit, but there's people looking at it. So sit there, look about. So if I'm stuck for inspiration, it's a good place because there's so many odd little things about the place. You may remember in Salt Lake Chapter 3, at one point he's just wandering running around the park, or she's running around the park. If you read it, you know why I'm confused. But there's a part where there's a big fat frog sitting in judgment over cases between the various mystic races. And that's where that idea came from, because I was sitting there looking at him going, I have to put him in the story somewhere. So that's where that came out of. It's literally 2 lines in that story, so I'm not spoiling it that much. Crunchy footsteps. So where was I? Yeah. So I have to do a reading this afternoon. Doing that Ramble at EasterCon, and I've been debating about what I'm going to read. Like, reading the race will make sense because I just put it out there. It's pay as you want on Smashwords. Gratuitous book. But this is one of the weirder ornamentations. I don't know if you played Magic the Gathering, but it's a card called Earthbound. I think that's what it actually looks like in reality. There's also some sort of cursed weeping angel thing going on there if you want. But I think I might actually, on the reading, I might actually do the little people instead, just because it's a little more fun, shall we say. Just I think people might enjoy it more. I might try and do a split. I might read some of the Flint Walker. So, and see how people react to that, because that's given me a bit of a problem. Because the tenses in Flint Walker, as I go through them, are all you. Is you do this, you do that, you say that, they say this to you. Because it was an interactive fiction and basically the internet was playing the character to a large degree, when I came back down to write it, like to turn it into something, I was like, when I took it out of that, I kind of lost a lot of the flow and the feeling to it. And so now I'm debating about whether I do actually change it to like Flint Walker said instead of you said and stuff like that. Because it kind of ruins the flow of everything that was kind of said and done there. So I'll try reading it at EasterCon and see what people think. If I should leave it as the you or switch it to kind of a past tense. Because I'm planning to release kind of the first village, the trials and the general whole monstrosity that is that village. For those who don't know, Flint Walker is basically Goliath, kind of a half giant, comes down from the mountain, off on a journey to find a way to a place for his clan, and things go horribly wrong. Or horribly right, depending on how adventurous you feel. Sorry, I should have shown you, I'm kind of in the what is called the fairy walk. So there's little houses and stuff dotted up on the trees and things like that. But I'm going to come to my favourite part in a sec. So that, and also throughout it, weird enough for the internet, I gave people a chance to vote a couple of times, and they all voted for keeping the character gender neutral. Which is fun, which I can write, but because I wrote it in the present tense and then changing it from that into a past tense and then keeping the gender neutrality because it's actually easier to do in the present tense is again, it's a bit of a challenge, and I find it makes for a couple of clunky sentences. Like not more than a couple clunky sentences. So I may just leave it as the you did, etc. This is Doyle Stumpery. That's going to be a pub in something. I don't know what, but that's got to be a pub in something. I think like the fairies and the dwarves, or the gnomes and the fairies sit about there griping about what the humans have done next or something. Even the fairies aren't immune to high-rise development. But yeah, Doyle's wasn't actually my favourite. I keep reminding myself I must put it in something. This is the Habit House. It's a free library. Kids can come along and just kind of leave a book, take a book. Free library, and they can sit in there, read it, and it's generally nice. Of course, some local hoodlums have taken to wrecking it on a regular basis, so steps have had to be taken. But look at these plants. So I want to build a kind of fantasy garden if ever we can afford to move somewhere with a bigger space, so I can have my own garden and Aoife, my partner, can have hers. So, and I want to kind of have these. I want to kind of have those, kind of entrance like that little bridge thing we walk through back there, and then I wanted to surround, because basically I want a place to practice my Tai Chi or sit and relax, or just work outdoors if the weather is nice, but I need a windbreaker, so these are castor plants, where castor oil and beans come from, but they're huge and they grow really quickly. That's some bamboo. Oh no, sorry, that's pampas grass. Now, I was also thinking of a combination of castor and pampas until somebody told me pampas grass means you're swingers or some ridiculous thing like that. Because what I wanted to do was build like an entranceway, like that little bridge thing we went through, and then surround it with castor and pampas grass. So I've got big plants all around, which would act as a windbreak, which in this country you need. So then I had a fairly reasonably sheltered place to go and practice my Tai Chi and stuff in. It is a lovely place. So, where was I? I was rambling. Thank you for coming on this ramble with me. Yeah, so ending Flint Walker actually was kind of bittersweet, because that started November 2017 and finished March 2019. So that's a lot of my life in that. And that's one of the weird things about it. But it was one of those, it's kind of like the seals making your bed every day. No matter what happened, I got that out most of the time. There was times I knew I wouldn't do it when I was like at conventions and stuff, but that's kind of height pampas grass though, so like you see why I think it'd be good for sheltering. Because I'd spent so much, it was like the Marines thing, I was like getting it done just about every day. Some very long threads on that, but I enjoyed it and it kept me in the flow, and you don't get good at things by not doing them, so doing it regularly helped me kind of get into the flow, and also it's kind of what pushed me into Patreon to a degree, where I was like, yeah, I can do a thing where I write very regularly and try and make a living. So yeah, that piece of work is not the greatest for the amount of time it represents. A lot of that is based off the decisions people took when they were given them, but I think it holds together pretty well. But yeah, so that's about it really. coming to the end of my little stroll around. Really is lovely. If I sit still here long enough, birds will come and just wander about me. And it's very kind of zen and peaceful. But it's my birthday, and my lady has promised me waffles with maple syrup and cream for second breakfast. She doesn't know it's my second breakfast till she sees this, but why not? It's my birthday, it's also Easter Sunday, it's meant to be a day full of sugary sweetness. Yeah, so thanks for coming on the Ramble with me, thanks for supporting my Patreon. I'll post a link to the Smashwords page for the Racer novella down there. It's pay what you want. And yeah. Okay, chat soon, guys.